Patterns allow us to add more power to our applications automatically. Applying a pattern is very easy. As soon as you do it, GeneXus creates objects, codes, and settings to provide interesting behaviors with no need to program them. Look at the pattern section of a transaction. For example, in the product type transaction, you can select the patterns option. Note that there are two tabs available. Each one offers a different pattern to be applied to the same transaction. First of all, we'll choose the Work With for Web tab. To use this pattern, we just have to select this checkbox, apply this pattern on Save, and save. After that, if you look for the product type transaction in the KB Explorer, we can see that several new objects are found below the transaction. They were created by GeneXus when the Work With for Web pattern was applied. Now we press F5 to view the results at runtime. Look at the last link. It offers to work with product types. The product type transaction will be called from here. We'll click on this link and a page will open showing all the product types that are saved. This page lets users to work with product types using a wider range of functions. For example, if we click on Update for the first line, we can see that the product type transaction is open to edit the details of that product type in that line. We can change the name and confirm. After editing and confirming, the application returns to the Work with Product Types page. The Delete link allows us to delete the product type in the line, and this Insert button allows adding new types of products. By clicking on it, a new product type transaction is open, ready to add a new product type. We're only asked to enter the name because we had set the key attributes of AutoNumber properties to true. We enter a new product type and confirm. Once again, after the insertion, the application returns to the Work with Product Types page. Now, you can know that each product type has a link. Let's click on Medicines, for example. As you can see, a screen is open with two tabs. The first tab shows all the details of the selected product type, and this other tab shows the list of products that belong to that product type. The product tab was automatically generated because each product type has several related products. If each product type also had related data of another type, more tabs will have been generated to show each list related to the product type. Now let's go back to the Work with Product Type page, clicking on the link up here on the left. Know that it's possible to search by name. This means that, for example, if a user types C, only the product types beginning with this letter C will be displayed. Let's go back to GeneXus. So far we had only selected Apply this pattern on Save in the Work With for Web tab of the product type transaction. After saving it, you will have seen all the functions that are automatically generated. What you may not have noticed is this configurable tree. It has configurable nodes, subnodes, and elements so that you can customize the behaviors to be generated, that is, to change or to add search criteria, etc. Now let's also apply the Work with Web pattern to the product transaction too. And as I explained earlier, you only have to open the product transaction and select the Work With for Web tab in the Patterns section. Then select the option Apply this pattern on Save and save. We press F5 to generate it, and we can execute the Work with Product page. We can see the same functions as in the Work with Product Types page. We can go to Insert to add a new product. We confirm and see that the application goes back to the Work with Product page. Since it's irrelevant to show the product type code in the grid, let's remove it. We'll go back to GeneXus, and in the product transaction Patterns Work With for Web, in the configurable tree, we're going to remove product type code. We simply click on Delete and press F5 to see the changes. and add some products in the same consecutive manner as before. Here we can see how, in Work with Products, lists all the products we've added. Now let's go back to GeneXus and pay attention now to the Work With tab offered for each transaction. Let's apply it to the product type transaction. Again, we select Apply this pattern on Save and Save. Note that under the main node, Level Product Type, there is a List node. If you click on it, you'll see a grid in the window on the right with the product type name attribute. Unlike the Work With for Web pattern, in this case, the layout is already shown with a grid instead of a list of attributes under the node, which will be included in the grid. Now look at the Detail node, which allows you to view the details of a given grid line. The Detail node has two sections, General and Product. As in the functionality implemented by the Work With for Web pattern, the General section displays the data associated with selected product types, and the Product section displays all the products that belong to the product type inside the grid. After applying this pattern and saving, let's see the product type transaction in the KB Explorer. There's a new object called Work With Product Type under the product type transaction. If you look at both products, General and Product Type transaction, you can see that Work With Product Type doesn't have other objects below it because it includes different sections to define the entire implementation inside it. On the other hand, Work With Web Product Types is a configurable instance. GeneXus generates other objects below it to provide useful behaviors we've mentioned. Soon you'll see the Work With Product Type component in action. Now we'll create an object menu so that it's the first object of the application to be executed. This object will show an image so that when a user clicks on it, the Work With Product Type object is executed. We'll create another object by selecting File, New, Object in the toolbar. We'll name it Pharmacy Menu. The type of object is found in the menu user interface. We'll click on Create. And by default, the main program property in any menu created has been set as true so that it is an executable object independent. That is, it can be compiled and executed on its own. Now let's drag Work With Product Type object from the KB Explorer window to the Item node of the menu. The action will be added automatically as shown below the Item node, and an event associated to the action is created. To understand the code line in the event, look at the Configurable tree node in the Work With Product Type object. The object has a main node of the product type. Below you can see the List and Detail nodes respectively. So to see the List node, the full syntax is the following: Work With Product Type, period, product type, period, list. Now let's edit the description property of the action node to read List of product types. Everything's been defined and the mobile application is ready to be executed. Since the main program property of the Pharmacy Menu object has been set to true, you can execute it independently from the KB Explorer, right-clicking on the object and selecting Run. In this case, we can see the application being executed in the mobile device. When you tap on the image, you can see the type of lists of products that pharmacy offers. The Insert button on the top right-hand corner may be deleted easily, since this application is for final users and we don't want them to insert new products. They should only be able to see the different types of products, but not to edit them. When you tap on each product type, for instance cosmetics for teens, a detail is shown together with its two subsections, General and Product. Obviously, this is a very simple demonstration, but much more sophisticated applications can be. In our next video, we'll discuss the possibilities of GeneXus to generate in other languages and/or databases.